All right, everyone in California, you clearly need some real education. El Greco, the Greek, was a Greek painter working in Spain in the 16th century. Among his masterpieces is The Burial of the Count of Orgaz, completed in 1586. El Greco was also a prominent Renaissance painter, sculptor, and architect. The painting illustrates a popular local legend of his time. An exceptionally large painting, it's divided into two sections, heavenly above and earth below, but it gives very little impression of two separate spheres since the upper and lower sections are brought together compositionally. The painting has been called one of the most truthful pages in the history of Spain, a masterpiece of Western art and of late mannerism, and is the epitome of Greco's artistic style.
Yeah, there's something so cool about the way El Greco paints that when you see an El Greco, you always recognize it. You know, it's sometimes hard to determine a Monet from a Manet or a Titian from a Raphael sometimes, but when you see a El Greco, you know exactly who you're dealing with. Take a look at the picture. First of all, man, what a whirlwind of utter activity. Katie made the observation that you see that line of men at the bottom third that go from left to right, the men in the ruffs and the black. This is the line that demarcates heaven from earth. And in that notice, by the way, how cramped but expansive heaven is, but how much more cramped and pinched reality is. So underneath, on the realm of the earthly, you see the count, a bishop there, the body of the dead count. You see the priests. You can see the ashen gray of the figure on the left and the priest who's imploring the heavens on the right. This is, and all those noble civic gentlemen of the town, right? They've turned out to watch the burial of Count Orgaz. And she had made the point that the theme of the painting is inspired indeed. Keep watching this. Is inspired by a legend at the beginning of the 14th century. In 1312, a certain Don Gonzalo Ruiz de Toledo, mayor of the town of Orgaz, died. His family later received the title Count, and so was posthumously applied to him. Don Gonzalo Ruiz was a descendant of the noble Paleologos family, which produced the last ruling dynasty of the Byzantine Empire. There's your Greek link, right? Why would El Greco, the Greek working in Spain, have been interested in this? Because ultimately, this particular family traces its roots back to the Greek Byzantine Empire. And if you go back and take a look at the picture again, and that beautiful expanding confusion above the heads of these men. According to the legend, at the time the Count was murdered, St. Stephen and St. Augustine descended in person from the heavens and buried him with their own hands. Go back to the next clip. And so now we find out who are those people. That is St. Augustine and St. Stephen. St. Augustine, of course, wearing the bishop's mitre and the bishop's hat, and St. Stephen to the left there. These two great saints of the Western Church come down to bury the Count. Now go back and look at the top here. The swirling clouds that the Virgin Mary, you see her there in blue and red, the left side of the picture. It's almost like she's body surfing. The clouds there, this coil of angels, this beautiful, complicated narrative that about the Count his soul being welcomed into heaven. And what I love about the picture is, go to the last one, the individual deep detail on the faces of these guys. Everything about El Greco is elongated. Everything about El Greco it walks right up to the line of caricature, but never quite crosses it. Some really great work. Once you see an El Greco, you'll never forget it.